Love podcasts, hate nonsense. It's the PoliticsJOE podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Where have you been? Where's Ollie?
Sat right next to you.
He's been dropped.
On his head.
They're not telling us what they did with him.
Go on then, admit it. What did you do with me? Send me to Cornwall?
Send it to Cornwall.
Someone actually replied to a comment about the Cornwall thing saying, it's not funny. Where is he?
All I'm saying is you weren't here and Trump got shot. So
Yeah, at least it was quiet in terms of the news. Mm-hmm. You know, no general elections, no finals in the Euros.
Well, obviously, we went big on the Euro final.
Did he not have any? I presumed he would have something to say about it. When
He was actually so annoying.
I think you were preemptively annoyed at me. I think your reaction was quite disproportionate to why.
I think I came because I'd read both you and Sean's tweets the night before. Then I came in and I was like, you're both pissing me off. Like, you both live here. Like, you love it down here.
Yeah.
What have you got? Andy Murray.
And
He
Bob
doesn't even
McIntyre.
play tennis anymore. Who's he got? That bloke from U2?
Conor McGregor.
Ed was sobbing when Murray retired at Wimbledon. I will never recover from this.
Yeah.
We've just got Scott McTominay now.
But you like some English sports players, like sportsmen like Joe Wicks.
You know that wasn't true. Like, you fully got.
Really?
Yeah. Ava tweeted it and I thought that's funny. And then thought the idea of you believing that I went to the park growing at Glastonbury was even funnier.
Yes. I don't know what's more damning, the fact that I was gullible enough to believe it, or what it reveals about you, that I believed it about you. No, I've been away on paternity leave.
Yeah.
As you both know. None of you knew that. Some of you knew that. Some of them knew that. I told them at the live show, after the live show. So I'm a father. That's where I've been.
Congrats.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. I think that's probably the only time I'm going to reference it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because as you've all demonstrated, you're very normal about things.
Where's the baby?
Show me the baby!
I don't believe it's real. There's going to be truthers.
Yeah.
Show me the birth certificate.
Yeah. Actually, there isn't one at the moment. You've got to register it. It's the registry
done that
office. No. You get 42 days. So, currently an illegal.
TikTok.
Yes, clock's ticking. So, that's where I've been. Did you miss me?
What do you think will be worse, the Obama birth certificate debacle, or your baby's birth certificate?
On a personal level, probably, I would be more affected by mine in terms of history. You'd have to say the Obama one, wouldn't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But good American politics segue.
Yes.
What's happened?
Do we want to do that, or do we want to do how everyone has been? What have you been up to whilst I've been away? I'll be the first one to admit I haven't watched anything. Like, nothing.
Nothing.
I watched the election night.
Yeah.
Because I was up and down, obviously. Saw all of your stuff. Saw Liz Truss go live. That was nice. You guys weren't on air at that point, but
No.
you'd been doing
Thank
about
God
8
we
hours.
hadn't been.
Yeah.
Because we were going to wait for it. Thank God we didn't.
We'd been like another hour.
Yeah, we'd really run out of things to say.
I did not have that in me.
How was the party
The party.
that was happening whilst you were working here?
Yep, still confused about that.
It was well attended. There was hundreds of people in the studio. And we knew who they all were. And they were all definitely invited. And they all behaved impeccably. And that's all we can say about that.
There was one point where Ed and I were doing the podcast bit from here, and I couldn't hear him at all. I was just lip reading.
Yeah.
Didn't know you had that in you.
Neither did I. But
Pressure makes diamonds.
he actually really does move his mouth in a way that gives away
Can you give
what
us a little sample?
This is my lip reading exercise.
No, you
He
don't
said,
normally...
this is my lip reading exercise.
And you quivered with that.
I quivered.
Yeah.
There at one point also when Eva and I were doing the podcast from here, a few people just walked behind the cameras and we had no idea who they were. And so we were just kind of like,
What's happening? Yeah.
yeah.
What we've learned from that is that we should have a list of people who are meant to be here to give to our studio hand who was on the door. So rather than him just letting everyone in, he could say things like, "Do you know that this is a live podcast studio? They're doing work down there. This is not like a
Nice.
come and take your shoes off
Nice.
and get comfortable."
How was the audio quality?
We weren't listening to it, to be fair.
No,
I'd like
I
to
was.
say
I was
excellent.
listening to it. I thought it was good.
But our bar is so low.
I have a high bar, but it's different to the audience.
Yes, the
Because
audience.
I could see the comments; they weren't happy.
Show us the waveform.
I thought it was atmospheric. I thought it was nice to be able to hear some background chatter.
Yeah,
They disagreed, but
there was. I was trying to watch the Vicky Spratt interview. I was like, okay, now this is actually unlistenable.
Really?
I was like, it was so loud because I think it was published as its own thing, without the context of it being. But I was like, that is actually quite disconcerting.
But it
Cool.
was so. It was such a downbeat interview. It was like a in-depth conversation and quite emotional about housing. And there's just like everyone's just wailing in the background. Yeah.
as another Tory loses their seats.
Yeah.
And the intervening weeks,
God, what have we done?
Sean's been to Belfast.
So I went to Belfast.
You did.
What else have we done? We've been certainly working. Absolutely.
We have been
We have been doing
working.
our
Have you?
jobs.
Yeah, we actually have.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been good.
I think
I'm so proud of you guys.
Yeah.
I put out 4 videos last week.
Yeah, you're right.
Bloody hell, slow down.
Yeah. What did you do?
Went shit.
Oh,
Oh,
just beep it.
I think beeps for that.
I spoke to Will Hayward from Wales Online about
Yeah.
Von Gething because you never let me do anything about Wales.
That's what people were commenting.
Yeah.
They said, "Is this because Ollie's away?
Yeah.
You can do Wales."
You have no oversight. You were texting saying, take that down. I was like, no!
Okay, good. So we've done some regions,
Done some regions.
done some nations and regions. Mm-hmm. Should we talk about the biggest nation and region?
Yes.
The United States of America. Small news story.
Teeny tiny.
Where were you when the news broke?
I had 2 beers on an empty stomach, so I was feeling a bit weird. Then I came home and cracked open Canva and made some graphics.
Did you see? Do you know who else was having some drinks?
Who?
Wolf Blitzer.
That was
That was so good.
so good. Yeah.
He was enjoying a wolf spritzer.
And then the screen cap of him, like on screen. Like,
It's so bad. Imagine like how drunk we were over the 4-hour
yes.
show, and you have to go and present the news.
Yeah. Well, in a way, we were presenting the news, weren't we? We were combining our two
In
great
a way.
our two great loves.
But it wasn't live on CNN.
No, it wasn't. Where were you, Ava?
I was at the pub.
Nice.
I didn't even see Ed had called or texted.
Ed had called you.
Ed called me.
Wow. You know it's a big deal.
For a sense check.
Yeah.
Was that on the we can talk about how old Trump is now?
Yeah.
I mean, that was good.
Thank you. But I hesitated over the use of the word fucking. I became quite prim. I just like, do we swear? I couldn't remember.
In a way, good that I wasn't back yet, because I think for things like that, when you call Ava, you'll get like a good answer, whereas mine is just, yeah, publish it.
Yeah, even didn't give me an answer.
Mine's like more.
No. Historically, no.
No, okay, no. Not with, not that.
You and Sean enable each other. Me and Ollie enable each other.
Yeah, but okay, Sean and I enable each other to do things like, oh, should we say so-and-so slammed the other MP? Or like, excruciating moment, this happened. Whereas you two are literally like, who can we call a cunt today?
Yeah. That's quite good, actually. The spectrum of Poljo. Where's Laura in all that? The referee.
Frightened.
Yeah, that quadrant there. We're all quadrants.
Do you think that Laura's actually the overseer of all of politics?
I know she is.
Yeah, we're just actually pawns in it. We think we've come up with something. It's actually her.
Actually, something Laura mentioned 4 weeks ago.
You were like the
Yeah.
Manchurian candidate. She gave you the idea. You just didn't know it like months and months and months ago. All of it.
Yep.
All
She
of it.
sends me things sometimes and she says, I'm sure you're across it. And I'm like, nope. No.
Not at all. Excited? Excited for a non-Biden presidential race?
Depends who it is.
Do you think Kamala won't get it?
I think she probably will. I think once the party machinery moves in behind her, it's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Which I think
Campaign finances, there's what, like 100 mil or something?
Say that again.
There's like $100 million, isn't there, in campaign finance
Yeah,
that
but
she
there's
can get
always
straight to.
There's always cash in the American people. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
There's always money in the banana stand.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Who's Obama going to go for, if anyone?
Well, I guess that's the point, isn't it?
Is he going to be like a little cuck,
I
like that
think-
bloke from Meta, and not back anyone? What's his name? Zuckerberg.
I think Mark Zuckerberg's having a bit of a moment, isn't he?
His like PR.
He's really
campaign
ramped
is
up a gear.
nuts
Like,
to make people think he's cool.
just if you wanted to take like a timeline of take something random like his participation in water sports, if you look back like 5 years ago, he has a full face of like white sunblock and like a full wetsuit. He has a bit of a belly and he's on like a stand-up paddleboard. Now he's wearing a tuxedo,
And influencers are pissing on him.
wakeboarding. Yeah,
It's that kind of water sports now.
I think so. Yeah.
He's putting videos on Truth Social of himself being pissed on.
I don't think we can say that.
Why? It was a joke. We're not allowed to say jokes anymore.
We can't say anything these days.
Can't say anything.
Starmer's Britain. So you don't think it's going to be her? You don't think she'll get the
No,
nomination?
I didn't say that. I said that I would find it more interesting if there was a bit of a tussle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think there will still be a tussle. I think the open convention, but she'll get it.
Because the membership as well, some of them will object to a coronation as well. Because if you compare it, like the Conservative Party membership, very different people to the Democrats, but they resented Sunak kind of being installed by people at the top of the party. And I think that they would, because actually as well, if Harris gets it and loses, then I think the membership would like really be angry. It's like it wasn't even our choice. Like maybe if we picked someone and they'd lost, we would feel better about this.
I think the Obamas and their outriders will say, there's a process, trust the process, etc. It's funny actually because when I was having dinner with Pelosi the other month, she actually told me that.
Fuck, I forgot that was true.
Yeah.
You thought I was doing a bit, and you were like, "Oh no, wait, that did happen."
I tried to roll my eyes.
No, I had dinner with her and her
Yeah.
husband.
Yeah, talk to him, didn't you?
I did. I
Yeah.
largely spoke to him.
You went, yeah, Nancy, please.
You wouldn't have been able to tell that he'd been attacked with a hammer recently.
Really?
He
No,
wears it-
genuinely, yeah.
He wears it well.
He was on good form. He does wear it well. He wore the hammer blows very well,
He had the hammer.
which is something I don't think I could say I could do.
What,
No.
wear a hammer well?
No, I'm very scared of hammers.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Why? Where does that come from?
In like a specific way.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like what's my greatest fear? It's not that we're inadequate. It's that we're attacked with hammers.
Is that real?
Yeah, genuinely, yeah.
Oh.
Not. In fact, I think I've actually done one of the podcasts cradling a hammer. It's not like if I see a hammer, I'm terrified.
Right.
But very specifically, I have a fear of being attacked with a hammer.
But where would that come?
I know exactly where it's coming
Did you? Is it because when you were a child you watched the video of
Two guys, one hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, three
What's
guys, one
two
hammer.
guys, one hammer?
Three guys, one hammer.
this guy getting himself smashed, beaten into a pulp by a hammer?
Holy shit.
Two Ukrainian lads jumping an old man in a forest and murdering him with a hammer.
Oh
and
my
screwdriver.
god.
Yeah, and then that's why Putin had to invade.
It's Putin's dad.
That's why Trump's refusing to fund anymore.
Yeah, so I watched that. God, in like peak live leak era internet. Mm-hmm. I would probably say maybe like 14ish, 13, 14, maybe
That's
15. So I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think you need to be Sigmund Freud to work that one out.
No.
No, but then I'm not scared of like small fans.
What happened?
And I'm very familiar with the Saddam Hussein diagram.
Was the Saddam Hussein diagram?
I guess I am
troubling?
claustrophobic.
But was that as frightening an experience as the two guys one hammer thing?
Well, for a claustrophobic, I think being put down like a, being in a little small space underground would be quite frightening.
How did you both fit down there?
Me and Saddam. Well, thank
Spooning.
you for pointing out that I've put on weight. Yeah.
But yeah, Paul, he was on good form. But Nancy told me then she put it all on. She bet on this.
What?
Biden gone. Kamala gets the nomination.
Really?
Trump lose? No.
Right. For God's sake.
The dinner bit was true. That bit
Yeah, no,
wasn't.
I know the dinner bit was true, but then I was like,
Yeah.
you didn't mention any of this.
No.
You've got some
Proof-
loyalty to the Pelosi's.
Feels like the sort of thing you would come back and say as
Yeah.
well. You're going to depose Biden. Everyone's like, you fucking idiot. Who's this guy?
I had dinner with her.
That would be like that random time that like very junior guy, possibly at the Telegraph, like got like the US diplomat
Oh, the US ambassador.
sacked. Yeah,
Yeah.
the ambassador sacked. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was Stephen Edgington, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Kim Darroch
Yeah.
with the diplomatic cables about Trump.
Do you know what you were saying about the Conservatives, the comparison? One thing I thought was interesting, that Van Jones guy who used to work in the Obama administration, he said that he was nearly in tears about this yesterday, about Biden.
He's such a cheap cry.
Yeah.
I don't know who Van Jones is.
He's one of CNN's commentators.
Right.
You remember, like, election night? he's one of the guys doing that. He cried when Biden won. I don't know if you remember that. That's why I said he was a
Well,
cheap
to
cry.
be fair to him, like, okay,
think that's
he is
fair
a cheap cry, but I don't think pointing out, like, when Biden won and when Biden resigned, like, if it was just those two things in isolation,
Yes,
that wouldn't be a cheap cry.
but nonetheless a reveling cry.
Yeah, can you imagine someone like BBC crying because Boris Johnson stepped down?
Yeah, I actually can. If you get the right Conservative commentator, then yes, you absolutely can. You know, if Farage was at the RNC getting ignored by
Yeah.
Trump, what is the Democrat equivalent of that? Who's like the wet
Lammy.
EU Supergirl? Do you think she's going to the DNC to support Biden?
No, I don't think so. Did you see Liz Truss talking about having a Liberty Bell showerhead?
She didn't.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. She's addressing the room and she's like, I've got a Liberty Bell showerhead because I love freedom, and when I get home I'm going to put it in my bathroom to remind me about the importance of Pennsylvania and my love of freedom.
It wouldn't be a good shower head.
Why
There's
does
a
it
crack
need to
in
be in her bathroom, of all places?
That's where a shower is.
I suppose that's where you put the showerhead.
Is that how
isn't
she
it?
lets her husband know that she's like had a piss? Ding. Well, why would you need it in your bathroom?
It's a shower head.
I don't think it's an actual bell. Could be, I suppose. Be very convenient.
I just am imagining like a bell shower head.
Is that not exactly what it is?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
I feel like I've had a stroke.
It's a good clip. It's
I'm
a good
really
clip.
hot.
We should listen to the clip. We should listen to the clip.
I have to confess, I've never been to Pennsylvania, but I do have in my possession a Liberty Bell showerhead, which is an exact replica of the showerhead that President Reagan has in his ranch in California, which I recently visited. And I will be proudly installing this showerhead as a symbol of liberty and democracy and, of course, Pennsylvania. Because you all know why you're so important, which is this is a crucial state in order for President Trump to be reinstalled in the White House.
I don't understand.
Do you think
Sorry. I'm going to come out as a hater.
of?
Charlie XCX saying Kamala's brat.
Yeah,
Cringe.
Brat's
Cringe.
over now.
Brat
It's
summer's
done.
over.
Over.
She's
What?
ruined it.
Finished.
How long's it been?
It
Not even
could-
6 weeks.
Did you miss
Yeah.
Brat Summer?
No, no, I don't think I missed Brat Summer. I think Brat Stuff was starting. Then my own Brat arrived. You
I don't understand how. That's very good.
It's a real Brat
guys have
Summer.
missed me. Yeah, I've got a Brat life now.
Kamala Harris is not Bic lighter and white t-shirt with no bra. Like, she's the vice president of the United States.
Is that what Brat Summer means?
Yes.
Sounds quite good, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was cringe that Charlie XCX has endorsed Kamala Harris.
What was she thinking doing that?
I don't know. It's cringe.
Like, it's so over. It's done.
Yeah.
I think Brat Summer was the only thing keeping me alive. Like, it was the only exciting thing that's happened in the past couple of weeks.
That's not remotely true.
And now it's over.
An album came out and you were like, otherwise I'll jump in the Thames.
The Tory government collapsing behind Ava as she walks over Westminster Bridge. God, this new album's really good.
Girl.
Is that a song? I don't know.
Yeah.
Girl's
so confusing. The Lloyd remix.
That's one you like, is it?
Yeah.
Can you give me a little sample?
That's all I got.
Cool.
I saw 2 people do it at karaoke on Friday and it was actually very good.
Did they?
I didn't
That's a really good karaoke song.
I didn't think it would lend itself well to karaoke, but they did it with aplomb. Oh fuck! I remember this. Sorry, this is absolutely nothing to do with American politics or politics at all. At this karaoke thing I was at on Friday,
well with the podcast,
there was this guy who was quite a bit older than everyone there. The organisers didn't really seem to know who he was. He seemed to be by
our
himself.
age?
He was like 29.
Yeah.
said.
29, 30.
Kept picking people up, asking them for a twig.
I'm going to say he was 50s. He's wearing like cargo shorts and a white Canterbury polo top. And he went up on stage and
don't tell me, I'm in a relationship now.
and did all these things that I've done by the Killers.
Oh.
And he tried to stage dive, and the crowd density was like the 3 of us. And he but he continued from the floor. He was like lying on his back doing it. And then he went up, and then his white polo shirt was absolutely filthy.
I bet.
It was bizarre.
There was a good Killers moment. I can't remember which England game it was now.
Oh, the semis.
Was it the semis?
Yeah.
And then they did Mr. Brightside. I think that's pretty peak millennial English man, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that that's like the peak, like the best thing that could have ever happened. And I was really excited for you to say that.
After becoming a father.
Yeah.
This is better.
Do you think Harris versus Trump has a different outcome to Biden versus Trump?
I think that Harris versus Trump in a presidential debate is a snooze fest.
No way. Trump's still there.
Yeah, well, okay, Trump on the... Listen, he always gives,
He always
all right?
delivers.
He always delivers. What's she going to say? She's going to say something like... She's going to be like Hillary Clinton when she was like stood awkwardly clutching the podium and saying things like, I'm looking for a kinder, gentler politics.
I think they'll have learned from that. They'll have learned what beat Trump and what didn't. So I think you're imitating Hillary Clinton. I'm not sure she will. And she knows that's not the model to follow.
Do you think that there's a lot... I think like Harris versus like JD Vance would have been fun. That's that's a good pairing.
That would have been fun.
It's interesting now that I read in The Atlantic that they picked JD Vance to fight Biden. They like didn't pick JD Vance as like a unifier. They picked him to like appeal to like the mental fringes. So now versus Harris, they have to kind of they have to redo their entire campaign.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, because the problem is when you pick someone who's got like not potentially racist views or wants to push a quite racist agenda, it doesn't land as well when you're doing it to a person of color. Like if you can bounce off of Biden and be like, oh, you want to let the illegals in, do you? You like the people of color, do you? It's got some weight with it. When you're just shouting, it just comes off racist.
I think they're going to struggle now, having just watched the RNC, where the entire thing was casting Trump as kind of strong, active, younger, more capable versus old, decrepit, frail Biden. I imagine they are absolutely raging.
Furious
that this has happened, because they now have to figure out their attack lines and recalibrate, because obviously the candidate, if it's Harris or not, is going to be younger than Trump, right? Trump is now the oldest presidential nominee in history. And all of that messaging up until now is essentially redundant. don't get me wrong, I don't think it's like a massive strategic success for the Democrats to be having to line up a candidate with 3 months to go. But it is a tricky issue now. Particularly, you're right, figuring out how to attack Harris. I think the border and immigration is definitely one, particularly because Biden gave her that sort of policy area to oversee at the beginning of the administration. But the really sticky point, I think, for them is law and order. And having a black woman former prosecutor versus a convicted felon, I think that's interesting to see how that's going to play out.
In that Atlantic article, the Trump sources said they're going to, on Law and Order, they're going to attack Harris from the left. Because when she was Attorney General of California, there was an overrepresentation of black men in the California penal system. Yeah. So there could be like, you were being racist.
Yeah, and also put a lot of people in prison on cannabis charges as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's something as well to be said about how much she knew about Biden's decline. When did you... Why were you prepared to back him up until now? Why didn't you do something earlier? When did it become clear to you that he did not have the capacity to be president of the United States? And why did you overlook that?
They've gone for that already, haven't they?
This is exactly my read of why I think Trump wins still. And I've got a bet on it with someone as well. I think this is what's going to happen. Because...
You've got a bet with Nancy Pelosi.
Yes.
No, her husband. He doesn't talk to Nancy.
It's me and Paul. No. I was going to say we're going to have some kind of hammer-based fight, but I just...
Oh my God. It triggered both of you.
Yeah. We both start fitting. So, basically, their entire campaign... The Democrats has been good versus evil, right? We need to save democracy, and to save democracy we have to beat Trump and we have to elect Biden. It is, it's the sort of classic Hollywood narrative, moral forces. And they have lost all claim to be the good guys in this, because whether it's Harris, whether it's senior Democrats, whether it's White House staffers, aides, all of the people around Biden who knew what all of us could see, but denied it and said, no, he's sharp as a tack. He's going to win this race, and enabled him. And also, by the way, the massive question mark looming over this is like, who's running the country? If we're saying Biden's too old to run, and you're saying now he's not competent enough to run, who has been running the country, who's been fulfilling that executive function. But essentially now you've been shown to be completely disingenuous. You've relentlessly lied to the American people. So in this context of the forces of good versus the forces of evil, you have no claim to moral superiority now.
I disagree with you. I think the Democrats still have that, in that they can point to Trump's policy platform, Project 25, everything they achieved while in office. It is still an existential threat to the United States. And if that worked with Biden, I don't really know why it wouldn't work again. I think it complicates it. I don't think it takes away their claim to be the good guys.
Of course, she can run it like an abortion referendum, can't she?
Yeah. I think that would be the very smart thing to do. She's good on that. She's much better on that than she is on immigration.
Yes. Well, she had the quite ugly brief of tackling immigration, didn't she?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think particularly, sort of white women and how they vote is going to be one of the key things in this election. And I think her versus Trump on abortion, and Vance as well, who, he opposes abortion even in case of incest, right, and rape. Or spoken about it. So
but what I didn't understand about the Republican convention was that you had people like Amber Rose, of ex-girlfriend of Kanye West fame.
Did you see? Sorry, you make your point.
Go on.
No, because I'm going to cheapen the conversation in a moment.
I was just going to say, your point. She stood up and she said, I never imagined myself as Republican, but I've come here and you love the gays and you accept people of colour and you're all of these things. And then they appointed Vance 2 hours later.
Welcome our VP pick,
yeah.
J.D. Vance!
Did the crowd not boo? She's saying all these things, no, we don't!
It was eerily silent when she was speaking. Also, it's really funny because I can imagine a lot of the women in the audience did not know who she was, but the men had to very quietly pretend they didn't know. Who is that?
I have no idea either.
Speaking about Kanye West's romantic partners, did you see what his current missus went out in the other day? The 1 millimeter thick t-shirt that was completely transparent.
Well, I didn't see it because if it was transparent, did I?
Saw a whole lot of something else though.
Let me have a look.
Yeah,
in a
so
window.
you pull it up and it's incredibly funny because this t-shirt, you can just see all of her tits. Like it's all there. But she's wearing like a baseball cap, which she's pulled over so you can't see her face. So it's like, respect my privacy while I'm out in public.
How do I find this?
But her boobs are just there.
I'm imagining your wife nursing your baby. And you're like, babe,
Look at this!
babe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not a t-shirt at all. That's just her tits.
Yeah, there you go.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
But do you see what I mean about the cap? She's like, don't look at me.
That's insane.
Yeah, wild.
She's essentially not wearing anything. I can.
No, there is a t-shirt there.
I was imagining sheer.
It is shit.
Well, I guess
Those go like
you would call
mesh.
it.
Again,
It is
like
shit.
some sort of.
Did you say
so
her
funny
eyes were
that-
too close together?
She's got eyes.
It's a great first day back at work. Ava just turning her phone to me with a zoomed in picture of a woman's breast, being like, yeah. Oh, I've missed it. Who do you think she picks as her VP? Harris. Who do you think she picks?
You found him earlier, didn't you?
JB Pritzker. That's my guy. I saw.
We're all
something-
competing to find the whitest guy to run alongside her.
I saw someone
Bashir
tweet,
guy.
Someone tweet one of the JB Pritzker's benefits is that he's enormous. You're like, that's a good thing. I was like, I don't understand that.
He did look quite chunky.
Oh no, like he's a unit. He's a seriously big guy, and he looks solid. And he's also been quite radical in his governorship of Illinois.
He's also minted, is he not?
Oh, yeah, he's a billionaire. His family owns the Hyatt chain of hotels. I'm all in for Pritzker.
Are you?
Yeah,
You're a Pritzker guy.
I'm a Pritzker guy.
Yeah?
I think he's quite sick. He's guaranteed the right to abortion in Illinois.
I like.
I think it's good. $50 minimum wage. in Illinois.
I'll never find it not funny when like men are pushing for like more abortion. I'm doing this for you.
Ed's not like, we need to widen access to abortion. We need to legally enshrine the right to abortion. He's just like, no, the numbers of abortions are too low. We need more. We need to boost these numbers.
We'll keep it loose because I can't remember what happened when it went to court, but there was someone who was pretty high up in the American politics system who very, very anti-abortion, but was thought to be crushing up abortion pills and putting them in his wife's smoothies.
Holy shit. That's dreadful.
Possibly was the morning after pill.
Oofed.
Not his wife, sorry, his mistress.
Oh, it's okay then.
Well, you know.
Who do you like?
I like that Bashir guy because of that photo.
Because he looks like he's in like off-duty KKK outfits.
Yeah.
What the
Oh,
hell
right,
was
it
that
was
photo?
It's like Wicker Man, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that.
That's
His
like,
kids looked AI.
it looks like that would have been on the mood board of that film Get Out. Like,
No, but that's who she needs as her pick, right? She needs white man.
Yeah.
She needs the crustiest, the driest, whitest dude you can find.
The most right wing.
Trump.
The most racist.
Did you see Aaron Sorkin suggesting it should be Mitt Romney?
Yes.
yes.
But he should move on. Actually, make another social network, Aaron. Do that, and we'll all be happy.
I thought that was great, that.
Social network.
Mitt Romney.
Oh, right.
Mitt Romney's suggestion.
I thought the social networks were great.
Did you like the newsroom?
Never watched it.
No, I didn't watch it. Do you follow, have you been seeing that TikTok trend, which is like the craziest things that like girls have ever done for their crush?
Yes.
And there's like this one girl who was like, this guy she fancied said he liked conservative women. So when Obama won, she like posted a video of herself crying. Saying how much she loved Mitt Romney.
That's
So
like
funny.
the extreme of like we're having a conversation about like when you're in a taxi or something and the taxi driver just says something absurd and you're like, yeah, man. We should have guns. You're right. Great point.
I like in taxi driver discourse when you're maybe 10, 15 minutes into a journey, you've been having an in-depth conversation, you've forgotten that the taxi driver's there, and then he just chimes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, Ed is such a bitch for doing that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot you've been listening to this whole thing.
Just divulging secrets to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
Do we have anything else to add on American politics? Should we park it there for a moment?
We can park it there.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll come back to it.
First time in a while, isn't it, that there's been an American ticket without a Biden, a Bush, or a Clinton?
I know. There really is like 5 people out there, isn't there? Like, honestly.
Whoa.
Like,
Stop that. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think possibly the 70s.
Forgot about. Yes. That's great.
sorry?
Let's have a look.
I enjoyed that.
Let's have a look.
Why? What was it, a joke?
No, it wasn't a joke. I just didn't really. I forgot about Reagan.
Well, how exciting.
Do you guys just want to fill for like
There must
30
be someone
seconds?
else apart from her. I tell you what we could talk about, which I
Pritzker.
would really like to talk about. Huh?
Pritzker, we got him.
Well, I'd like to talk about public sector pay rises.
I want to talk about J.B. Pritzker.
Go on then.
His other achievements, he made Illinois the first state in the US to ban police from lying to minors. That's pretty good.
Right.
Put the state on the path to 100% clean energy by 2050 through a mini state-level Green New Deal. He eliminated the criminalisation of those with HIV, expanded mental health services for youth in foster care. So it's a litany of good ideas,
Yeah?
this guy. Yeah,
So you're pro him.
yeah, I think he's sick.
There was something interesting about a lot of the achievements that were listed about Biden, about them being long-term achievements that you won't see, the Americans won't see the benefit of for a good like 10, 20 years, all of them being a $1 trillion industrial program. I was thinking about it, like, isn't it funny how at odds we are with America at the moment? We're suffering from short-termism, they're suffering from
Extreme long-term.
long-termism. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a real problem in our politics of everyone's too young. We do.
All the MPs.
Some of those MPs are too young.
I agree, actually.
Some of them need to, yeah.
If you're younger than me, you shouldn't be an MP.
I completely agree with that.
I'm the barrier.
And I think that it should be like an exception rather than the rule. Like sometimes you have a really impressive person who is young and you go, oh, brilliant. It'd be great to have some new ideas from this kid in. I don't need like a,
University local councillor MP.
Yes.
By 22.
no,
No.
odd that. I can't lie to you. I'm always skeptical of people who joined local council before they're 22. I'm
Yes.
skeptical of that. I think, why?
What about Hot Lib Dem?
Hot Lib Dem.
How old is he?
Vince Cable.
He's in his 30s.
Oh,
Oh, really? He looks good for it.
yeah, perfect.
1976,
Last time.
last time. Yeah. Without a Bush, a Clinton, or a Biden.
Gosh.
But of course, before that in the 70s, the Bush would have been quite popular.
Very good.
Public sector pay?
Just first, what pubic hairstyle do you think Donald Trump has?
He's got a matching wig. It's perfectly slicked back. It's got I think it's called a American, a pubic wig.
What?
If you need to like, if you're in a TV show, I need to like, say you're in
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Boardwalk Empire,
I thought you
and you're a
that's-
prostitute with like pubes, and you don't have pubes yourself. They put a wig on you. It's called American.
I thought that there were people who, like, just in their lives wore wigs down there.
They might have alopecia or something. I don't know.
If they had, what, is that the body standard you think people aspire to?
If you wanted pubes and can't grow them, I think you should be able to wear a wig.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Was it like this while I was off?
No.
We actually did way more politics. I think we're giddy.
How would you fix a wig?
Glue.
But
Oh, maybe
yeah,
glue, actually.
apart from glue, I guess.
Maybe like a thin elastic band.
No,
like a hula skirt.
Yeah, it somehow switches around. You just got like pubes on your bum.
Okay.
Oh, we are so back.
Yes.
It's great to be back. Great to be back. Yeah, okay, let's do public sector pay.
Thank you.
Public sector pay.
The Independent Pay Review has recommended 5.5% pay increases.
Yes.
That would mean that teachers could receive an inflation-busting pay rise.
Yes.
This is a tricky topic because just a few short months ago, it would not have been an inflation-busting pay rise,
Yes.
but it now is.
Yes.
But the question for a lot of teachers is 5.5% enough? You know, because they have lost a lot of money over the past couple of years because of rising costs and wage stagnation. So they've actually lost out on cash.
Mm-hmm.
So do they need pay restoration?
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yes.
is what the doctors are asking for also.
Yes.
The NEU would be more 6.5%. But Labour have only budgeted for 3% rise.
Mm.
They're going to have to find another 8 billion.
Where do you think?
No,
they'll
that's
get-
not right at all.
Where do you
Sorry,
think they'll
it
get
is
it from?
8 billion.
It
Where do
depends.
I-
It depends which sectors you add together, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I saw IFS saying if you did all of them together, it maybe would be 10. Teachers alone might be 3. I think I can't remember the exact numbers, but
Yeah.
It's billions of pounds.
The teacher one, the teacher was £3 billion because I remember looking at it and going, that's not even worth writing home about.
yes.
Anyway, so where are they going to get it from? I don't know. But there was a plan. There was discussions about a capital gains raid, which I'm not sure they're going to do anymore.
Really?
I don't know.
Then they're running out of options. They don't do that.
Unless that VAT on private schools comes in pretty snappy.
Are they trying to do that before the start of the school year?
I think it'll be January at the earliest at this.
Yeah,
at this
well,
rate.
it'll have to be after the budget, won't it?
Of course.
I think. Well, it's taxes, it's cuts, or it's borrowing. It has to be one of those 3 things.
Well, no, I think it can be reallocation,
Yeah.
which I guess is de facto cuts.
Yeah.
But you might say something like, we're going to remove this tax relief and then hand that over.
See, I was talking about this at the weekend on LBC, which you listened to, in fact. You texted me about it. And that was before this Rachel Reeves interview. And I don't know about you, but watching her with Kunzberg, I got the impression she was kind of indicating that not only might she do 5.5, she might even go further. That was what I know she didn't explicitly say that, but when you're reading the runes of watching politicians of various stripes talk about giving people pay rises, you can tell, can't you? There's a nod and a wink. And the way she was talking about retention, the way that she was talking about there are actually further costs if you don't meet these demands in strike action, etc. That felt to me like she was signalling either that they're going to match 5.5, they might even go further. And I thought very revealing as well that there hasn't been pushback since from other members of the government. So we will have to see, won't we?
I think they would be right to do 6.5.
Yeah.
But they would also have to, if they were
That's what
going to
last
meet,
year, wasn't it?
Yeah, but if they were, yes, but that came partially out of the school's own budgets. The NEU this time wants it to be a full allocation.
Yep.
So it will need an extra £900 million from the government to give back to schools what was taken away. But they also want to do this quite ambitious schools program of introducing new arts, music, sports. That's expensive. And they're doing a big review of the curriculum as well, aren't they? I don't think they're going to give a single penny to universities. I think the universities are on their own.
It's interesting. I wonder, would Reeves have done this without the recommendation of the independent body that recommended it? Because it's very fiscal rulesy. If you say that it's been recommended, so we're allowed to do this.
and the Tories were very happy when they were negotiating, or actually not negotiating, but having sort of waging war with the unions in the airwaves. They were kind of treating the bodies as as a panacea, right? As like, this is what they've said, so no, there's no way we're going to go beyond the 5% they recommend. You're not getting a graduated 35% pay rise, so you get pay restoration. It's ludicrous. Ignoring the fact that Jeremy Hunt was very happy to ignore the recommendations of those same bodies when he was negotiating junior doctors' contracts as health secretary. You can ignore them, should you choose to. But I just thought I think it would be very interesting. I don't think this is going to be the case anymore. but before Reeves gave this interview, it was the sort of the other briefings and stuff that were out there. It was kind of looking like that Labour might not actually even go to 5.5%, which I thought would be very, very surprising and position them to the right of the Tories on public sector pay. Reeves appeared to be indicating that they'll go further, that they'll...
Yeah. And it's annoying that it's being called inflation busting. It's actually really not inflation busting at all.
Well, you have to... Okay, so how would this sort of drive up inflation? It's a reference to a wage price spiral, right? Where it's like the logic goes that by increasing pay, you increase prices, you get in this doom loop and it boosts inflation. And I can understand the logic behind that if, for example, you're talking about someone who works in a factory that manufactures things, and if you pay the staff there more, it means that the cost of the product goes up. So you can end up trapped in that doom loop. I would reject that logic, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about people who provide a service, right? So it's not like the kid in the state school has to pay more for their education because the teacher's being paid more. I would also, just for what it's worth, say that I think probably like rampant profiteering and corporate price gouging is probably more of an inflationary pressure than paying your staff high wages. But
that's demonstrated by those ludicrous Taylor Swift headlines. I'm not bringing her up as because I like anyway, but the Taylor Swift headlines are all she is responsible for inflation staying where it was.
When did this happen?
Oh, did you not see it?
No,
because of her tour, hotel prices were inflated. So loads of services were boosted.
She does have a big economic impact, though, right?
She does, and actually a lot of it was they blamed it on Taylor Swift, basically. And
really?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. I think it was like the front page of City AM. Anyway, so that is an example of greedy hoteliers inflating their prices and contributing to inflation, rather than the teachers just asking for fair pay.
It was Taylor Swift demanding the hoteliers to do it.
Well, there was things like in Edinburgh where all of those homeless people who were housed in hotels kicked all the homeless people out because they were like, no, sorry, Taylor Swift's coming to town and we can get like £600 a night on this
She
room.
shouldn't have asked them to do that. That was appalling.
No, but the serious point there is that is greed. That's corporate greed.
Yeah.
I thought it was horrific, actually, when she brought a homeless man out on stage and executed him. Were you at that one or were you at a different one? Did she bring out someone else?
Yeah, no, I was at the one where she just brought out her. You could actually argue she did execute someone at the one I saw, because she brought out Travis Kelce.
And shot him.
Well, at the beginning of the tour, she was with Joe Alwyn, so it was sort of like a...
Oh.
Did you bring out Matty Healy at any point?
No.
Sorry, was Kelce singing?
Kelce came out and...
just waved?
Did like... No. He actually was part of the performance.
Oh, he did a dance, didn't he?
It was at the last London one.
He did a dance?
Kind of, yeah. He
was like in it.
He
wearing
acted.
a costume.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was alright.
It was as good as you'd expect a professional NFL player to be at dancing.
They're actually quite good at dancing.
Exactly.
But more importantly...
He was in the gritty.
It's interesting when you think about the Conservatives, what they were talking about with pensioners and about the triple lock that was totally necessary for them because they couldn't live without this triple lock.
Yep.
When you talk about teachers, you say, well, inflation's only 2% now, back end of 2%.
Yeah.
That'll do, won't it? Well, okay, apply that logic to pensioners. Did it win you any votes, you know?
Yes.
Pathetic.
Pay them what they're worth. I think it's one of the things that the Americans get unbelievably right, is that they're just happy for people to have extraordinarily high wages, and be like, oh, you're a teacher, well, you get paid 50 grand, happy days. I'm happy to live in a world like that. This idea, you see it all the time in this country, right? The sort of crabs in a bucket mentality, which for people who aren't familiar is like if you have a bucket full of crabs and the crab at the top is like, because it's on top of all the other ones, about to climb out, another one will just pull it back in. And we see it all the time with things, for example, like tube drivers pay, where it's like, they fucking get paid what? 60 grand? You kidding me? To sit and fucking drive a tube? Whereas actually the culture should be like, yes, good for you. I would also like to be paid £60,000. We want to live in a high wage. I mean, it's what was promised, wasn't it, after Brexit, high wage, high skill economy. And the Conservatives were repeatedly found wanting that what they meant when they said high wage was like, oh, no. Not for you. That's not high wages for you, brother.
Do we think Mel Stride is going to be the next leader of the Conservative Party?
Has he declared himself?
Yeah, I think he did.
He's in.
Has he declared?
Yeah, I think so.
He said,
Because
yeah.
I thought, did I see? Was he on the?
Did
Was
he
he on the
not-
round this morning
I
and
think
kind
he
of was
admitted-
being a bit coy
I
about
thought he
it?
admitted it. Could be fake news about Mel Stride.
Oh, unreal! Carla Denyer has been forced to put a comment out about her tweet about
Has she
Biden.
really? What she put a comment out?
That was an insane reaction from people. Well, I thought it was.
She's had to
Bizarre.
clarify that her praise for Joe Biden stepping aside does not mean she condoned his complicity in, quote, the slaughter of the innocent people in Gaza.
Do you know what? I think people could have inferred that. I don't think Carla. Well, from what I know about Carla Denyer, I don't think she was giving her full-throated support to Joe Biden's actions. But
don't know.
I don't know.
She probably could have mentioned it. She did put a tweet out as if she was like the leader of a political party, and she's the co-leader, and they probably probably have to agree between each other what the statement is.
The Greens don't seem to have to agree on anything.
Biden is complicit in the slaughter of innocent people in Gaza, she said. Last night I was positive about President Biden's decision to stand aside as a candidate. Some people read into this that I was offering my unmitigated support for his presidency, including the policy of selling arms to Israel. Given my long-running work campaigning for peace, this is the last thing I wanted and certainly not my position. I'm sorry for not making it clearer and that my comments left some in doubt and concerned. The next president needs to work for peace, stop arms sales to Israel and ensure an immediate ceasefire and release all hostages. The world needs the next US president to be a peacemaker.
Well, she's had a tough week. She was in A&E last week for a bee sting. I'm
She
not
was.
joking.
I've missed a lot.
She missed the King's speech.
Yeah.
'Cause she had to go to A&E because of an adverse reaction to a bee sting.
She's allergic to bees.
Looked like she had a bit of a swollen hand. Looked a bit sore.
It was very swollen, to be fair.
Yeah, it wasn't a sling.
Poor
It
woman.
looked like Zach Belansky been at it. I think if you watch that back, my face lit up when I thought of that.
That's tough for her as well then, because they're in their manifesto, right? Rights for nature. They want to extend a network of rights to animals and the natural environment.
Well,
Her nemesis, the bees.
No,
I thought
but they
she
can-
killed that bee that day.
It will have died.
The
But
bee,
yeah.
the bee killed itself.
It's not very green of her, is
The
it?
bee killed itself.
We're not saying that they killed themselves anymore.
Sorry, the bee died by
The
suicide.
bee unalived itself.
But at least the bee could have been taken to court if it had been alive.
Have we ever considered that the bees might have a high-level honour system and that when they sting us, they're actually committing seppuku?
I don't know. Have we?
Why have we never considered that?
Do you think
You
it
go
was
to a
like
beekeeper.
Do you remember that time that you got stung by a wasp?
No.
Out on the... No?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. That was mental.
yeah. Yeah, that was bad. It was in my t-shirt,
Oh.
in my armpit.
Ooh, ouch. I hate being stung with things.
It was bad. It had like flown in. I think I was like, I don't know, my hand behind me or something. And then I closed my armpit on
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck. Ouch.
it. Yeah, it was annoying,
That sucks.
but dishonourable. No honour amongst wasps.
Wasps are horrible.
They survive, don't they?
Hate
They
them.
sting and fly off.
Yeah.
Not as,
Evil
not as
looking
bad as
well.
hornets.
No, I
No.
think it got stuck, didn't it? It got stuck for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you pull it off me?
No, you asked me to, and I was like, no.
That's fair.
Who did? Did someone rescue
A
me?
stranger did. Sorry, I really don't like wasps. And I'd seen what it had done to you.
I think that's fair enough. An angry wasp. And you're
Me,
like,
me, like on the
Touch
on the pavement, having an anaphylactic reaction, being like, "Ava, get me an EpiPen or call an ambulance." And I've just got looking away. Disgusting. Oh.
Actually, it was quite disgusted.
did you use an EpiPen?
Did I need one?
Yes.
No, I was
Right,
fine.
right.
I was fine.
Okay.
I was.
I was like, I didn't really read that.
Hypothesizing.
Real men don't use EpiPens.
I think they finished their lunch break up there.
Yeah, they have.
So we might have to wrap this up. Do you know what's worse than a hornet though? Fucking Asian hornet.
Clip
It's
that.
xenophobic.
Cut out hornet.
What's worse than a hornet? Fucking Asians.
No, it's just fucking Asian.
Oh dear.
Well, that's all got to come out.
No, if you're in the southeast and you see an Asian hornet, you have to report it.
To who? I'm not.
The police.
You have to immediately call 999.
Help!
It's a wasp.
Phone the Coast Guard.
Yeah, they're steadily spreading up the country.
Criminal Asian hornets.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit like a Trump campaign ad, to be fair, doesn't it?
It's criminal agents.
They're not sending their best. Okay, well, we might have to try and wrap this up. Should we quickly do Suella and reform?
Yeah.
What do we know about this, Ava?
I actually know nothing about this.
They've not told you about this?
I don't know anything about this at all.
No whispers? No rumours?
No, I actually don't know anything about it at all.
Would you welcome her, though?
What do you mean?
To reform?
Why would I know?
Because you're well-known complicity. Oh, when you were off, I said that Ava was away working for Reform and taking a job in Farage's office, and they believed it.
How was that?
I have such contempt for the people who listen to this podcast. Why would you think I've gone to work for the Reform Party?
Because of
Your previous statements.
comments.
Yeah.
My previous comments, like going to 3 press conferences in its entire...
clapping.
I did not clap. I actually specifically, one time someone from work experience came with me to a press conference and they clapped and I was like, stop it.
You know how when you watch something like that, there's always the first really enthusiastic clapper that goes to ignite the audience applause, and it's usually a staffer, a press officer or whatever. It's not.
It's Ava Santina.
It's Ava Santina.
Yeah, it's me at the back with a big hammer leaning over someone shouting clap. And they're in.
Someone next to their head caved in.
Yeah.
Interesting though.
Yeah.
Would send quite a signal, wouldn't it? The Tory party wasn't going to accept her as a leadership
I think
candidate.
it would be a
But she
net
would-
gain for the Conservatives if Suella defected.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then they could be like, look, because Suella's brand is so toxic now, at this point after her insane "we've been invaded by gay people" speech in America.
Yeah.
And then they can be like, that's what reform is, by the way. They think that's fine.
She'll fit in well, a reform source said.
I bet. They'd have another
Well,
MP.
I think the benefit from them is that anyone defecting from the Conservatives is a good look for them.
Especially as high profile as she is.
Yeah.
Former would say.
I think that, I think it would be a really ugly battle if the selection is Priti Patel, Kemi Badenoch and Suella Braverman, because they're 3 sides of the same coin, really, aren't they? They're sort of like, they're all sort of variations. I mean, you can argue some of them are better. I think that Kemi Badenoch is a much better public speaker than either of the other 2.
I saw that while I was off. Her 13-minute cooking of Angela Rayner.
Yeah.
I saw that. And I also saw Ed Miliband cooking Carla as well.
It's really annoying that you only just saw that. I only put it up this morning, so where'd you watch it?
What do you mean?
on
did
other,
you watch
on
that?
other platforms, probably.
Yeah, did you watch it on another platform? I only put Rayner and Badenoch up this morning.
Well, yes. I mean,
Where'd you watch
it happened like 5 days ago, didn't it?
All right. I was busy.
Whoa, why are you fucking... You were off!
Yeah.
I don't know, when did it happen?
Yeah, about 5 days ago.
Right.
No, Thursday happened. Friday, maybe.
Okay, nice.
Sunday. And we were first to it.
Sorry, I was busy doing other things. I can't do everything around here. Laura's barely done anything.
We've been the only ones fucking here.
Don't say that.
Yeah. That's not true. That was a lie. I'm lying.
Yeah. There was a really interesting Conservative little tweet by a Conservative commentator reacting to what people had said about Florence Eshalomi. This is actually a really long point, so I'll do it another day.
No, make it now. I saw all this.
Right. So Florence Eshalomi in the Commons during the King's speech, it's customary for you to make a few jokes.
Oh,
She
yeah.
made this joke that finally she can put on record in Hansard that Nigerian jollof is the best jollof. It was a fun little tidbit.
Banter.
Yeah, banter. People reacted to that and they said, like, this is Britain's problem. This is like multiculturalism gone wrong. And this Conservative commentator corrected them, I thought, perfectly, where he basically just said, this is actually multiculturalism in action. This is someone who is probably, it could be first, could be second, could be third generation is British, is speaking about her culture within our culture, and it, you know, this is just like this is the perfect platform on which to do it.
Yeah, no, totally agree.
And that's the toxic conservatism that Suella Braverman represents. Is this has gone wrong.
Oh yeah, fucking. There's a black woman talking in Parliament about which rice she likes, and that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
We only talk about mash and peas here.
Turnips only.
Yeah.
No, Indian rice acceptable for these people.
Oh yeah, of course you're right. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call it, Indian rice.
I saw a really good tweet.
It's just a bowl of Asian hornets.
I saw a really good tweet about, you know, how different cultures will all be like, you know, in my culture we all drink so much and we just love our families and we're really hospitable to guests. And someone else was like, someone will tweet, someone will say, in my culture, you know, we have the best rice and we cook it like this, and it would just be a video of someone like boiling rice in the same way that every single other motherfucker does it. Which is good. Ed, any thoughts on Suella?
Did you see we were let into NatCon?
I did see you got into NatCon.
That was good.
They're desperate now.
That felt satisfying to be let in. It's a shame Harry wasn't with me.
Yeah, he deserves to be.
Which he deserves to be. He's done long hours of Marcham Street. Standing, being ignored.
Chasing people down the road.
Yeah, but they got us. What
was it like in there?
Beautiful building on the inside. Lovely, lovely building.
Is it better to be on the inside than the outside?
Yeah, it's so much easier. Oh my God. People talk to you.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Just people weren't ignoring us.
Who did you speak to?
I spoke to various attendees. A guy that I'd met at the ULEZ protest.
He was there?
Councillor, yeah. He was there campaigning for Susan Hall at the ULEZ protest. He wasn't campaigning for Susan Hall. This, as far as I could tell. I didn't ask, actually, but I maybe should have done.
Well, there's always 2028.
Yeah.
2029.
You never know. And Jacob Rees-Mogg was there. I asked him if he was going to retire or something.
Did you ask him how he was sleeping?
No, I didn't.
Because he looked so well rested.
He looked so well rested. Well, he's less busy now.
Did he talk to you?
Yeah, I was in a gaggle.
Oh, I saw your mic.
Yes.
I saw your mic in someone else's video.
Yeah. I was in a huddle.
You see, what we're getting from this is that he's been watching quite a lot of other people's content and not ours.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
We saw that you were
take a
on
break as
Slack
well.
though last week.
Oh yeah, you were online. We were all talking about it. I wonder what you were doing. Not talking to us.
I was just silent, hovering in your chats, just watching what all of you were saying to each other. I must just left it open somewhere. Well, fascinating. It is hot in here, Ed.
So hot.
You're right. Can you see the sweat formulating on his brow?
Yeah, you've gotten quite moist there, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm really hot. It's really warm.
Are you wet?
Probably. I'm not going to check.
Where would you check?
I don't know.
Any of his creases?
What do you mean? I'm not going to... What does that mean?
I think he was talking about his knee crease.
Ah.
You know how sometimes when you get hot, like the backs of your thighs and your knee?
Awful.
Yeah, worst.
Dreadful.
Terrible.
No.
No? Women don't perspire.
No, they do, but I don't think... Yeah. I don't think we get as hot as quickly. I think you lot just overreact and make yourselves more hot.
By panicking.
Well, look at you. It is warm in here. But I'm wearing a cardigan and I'm sitting still.
So?
He's got half his hair up in the air.
What's happened?
Just the back of your hair is kind of just going up.
Cool.
Just rising.
Nice.
It's like, yeah, it's gone all... And
It does that. It's like air. It rises.
You're sitting there, your face is actually wet.
Never mind his creases. His face is wet.
I'm not going to check.
You don't need to.
How long have we been going for?
But, fuck,
Just over an hour, which is good.
That's way too long.
No, because we're back doing, unless I'm mistaken, I mean, it's my first day back. You're not doing it daily, are you?
No.
Yeah.
That went out the window. We start at 9 now.
Did they miss the daily uploads?
I think they did. To be fair, I think they liked them.
We could.
He's like, no, never again. Would you prefer doing regular, shorter records or long boys?
I prefer, if we're doing it every day, I prefer not to do them at 8 in the morning.
Part-time Peter over here.
I know. Yeah.
I prefer working to my contract hours.
Fucking hell.
Why don't you suck off HR? Like, you'd work so well in HR.
Because I'm a consummate employee.
And a bit of a Karen.
A bit of a Karen. I'm a bit of a Karen, actually. Good complainer.
Yeah.
We wrap it up?
Yes.
Do you want to finish there?
Yeah. I'm quite happy. Unless Ed wants to add anything.
No, thank you.
Anything else you want to check?
No, I'll do that after.
Do you want to check other members of the team?
I think that would be an HR violation.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Just check my crease. Did you miss me?
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. You can't say these things at home. So you've got this all bottled up inside.
Oh, dearie me. Well, great to be back.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Well.
Bye.
Bye.